one story that I do want to talk about that broke this week deals with Jam Master Jay. Now, as you remember, he was gunned down back in 2002. But as of this week, Jam Master Jay's family and DMC react to long-awaited arrests in the DJ's 2002 murder. Although this latest news opens up a lot of painful memories for us who knew and loved Jam Master Jay, I'm relieved to hear that 2 suspects have been arrested and charged with his murder. It's been a difficult 18 years not having him around while knowing that his murderers were not yet indicated for this heinous crime. Back in 2002, Jam Master Jay was gunned down in his studios. He was actually shot in the head.
Point blank range he was, man.
Yeah. He was shot in a recording studio in Queens back in 2002, and he was only 37 years old. In the indictment alleges that Jam Master Jay was involved in transporting kilogram quantities of cocaine between 1996 and 2002 alongside his music career. In July 2002, he acquired about 10 kilos of cocaine, which was intended to be distributed by the 2 suspects and others, the indictment states. But a dispute between one of the men indicted led to Jam Master Jay to tell the individual that he would be cut out of the transaction. So the 2 suspects then conspired to kill him. On October 30th, they entered Jam Master Jay's recording studio with firearms and fatally shot him in the head and shot another man in the leg. So the 2 suspects are each charged with murder while engaged in narcotics trafficking and firearm-related murder. But just going back to it, just to see what this was about, it's just heartbreaking as a fan to know that Jam Master Jay was really in this.
I think the Jam Master Jay came out. He said in all his interviews he's from the streets, man.
Mm-hmm.
We had to remember that a lot of these rappers, man, the DJs included, man, they got bad, they got history, man. They got like sometimes it was funny. I was looking at a documentary on Master P, man.
Okay.
You guys got to check that out. It's Chronicles of Master P. Now they doing Rough Riders now.
Okay. All right.
So what happened? C Murder, who is Master P's brother, making millions of dollars, man. He had his own separate record label from Unlimited, Unlimited Soldiers and everything. Had everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
But he made a statement that really stood out in my mind. Murder C, if you don't know, he's locked up. He's doing life for murdering somebody from many years ago, murdering, shooting somebody in a club.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's still in jail. Damn.
Yeah, he's still in jail, man. And in that court, they tried the case twice. They tried this court case twice, and the problem is he came out and said it in his interviews. He was like, and Master P said it himself. He's like, look, my brother, you could take him out the street, but you can't take the street out of him.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he's making millions of dollars, but he still wants to go back to that environment and do dumbness. And I think most of these rappers that started out, man, they probably wasn't doing a drug thing, man.
Right. I mean, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect at all, but man, I'm not sure what Jam Master Jay was doing. Was he making money to front his artists? Was he making money for whatever? Because, you said that life, he had a nice lifestyle, man, as a rapper, but maybe he ran into some financial issues.
Possibly. I mean, drugs. The well can run dry in a music career. You might not be as hot as you were back in '86 when you started, and it's like 2000 or even like in the late '90s. So remember, there was a big gap between Walk This Way when it came out with Aerosmith to Down with the King that came out in, I believe it was the early mid 90s, if I'm right.
Yeah, rappers don't think about finances, man. They don't think about money management and future earnings and all that stuff, man. Mm-hmm. You gotta remember, this is '86, man. Hip hop was coming to the forefront. I don't think they were too concerned about money management, man. They were just taking money.
This is never going to end.
Everybody has a life before they make it. But at the same time, do you think that it's going to kind of tarnish his image as a one of the greatest DJs out there?
No,
Just increases his street cred, man. Gives him
Listen,
street cred.
and there's too many of them doing it. I mean, shit. Jay-Z,
Mm-hmm.
okay, one of the biggest names out there. He, DJ and rapper, and he,
Yeah,
talks
he's moving stuff.
explicitly about, come on. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
shit. Start with him and run it on down. Biggie, Fad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
the list could just go on forever and ever and ever. And no, it's look, he did it, okay, but did he deserve to die behind it? Well, that's real. I would say no, but the other people may say yeah. So, but nah. Mm-mm.
No, I mean that's the
You
thing.
know,
It's like kind of like you're playing a game of Russian roulette, pardon the pun, with getting into that line of work, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard? I tell my students this all the time in my classroom. Drug dealers do not have retirement plans.
No, sir.
It just doesn't exist. Either you are shot down, or either you doing time. You can't walk away from the business like that, man. It keeps the money's good. It keeps calling you, so you gotta keep going back. And the more you make, like Biggie says, the more problems. I'm sorry, more money, more problems. Is just I never heard of a drug dealer that had a retirement plan, man. It just doesn't
Hell no.
exist.
Or if you had one, usually you don't make it to the end.
Now,
What about
Barnes,
that little?
How about that?
Nicky Barnes is the only one that was able. He actually walked away from it somewhat, but he's the only one that I know of that was able to have a retirement after his drug trade.
Indeed, but at least the silver lining is that these criminals are going to get their justice that's due to them. JMJ is finally going to be able to rest in peace, and his family's going to be able to breathe a little easier now that these individuals are going to be locked up for a very long time.